Hey guys, welcome to WedWel's first wedding podcast called Desi Wedding Tales.
I'm Ms. Pakistani.
And I'm Alicia Rahu.
We'll be talking all things Desi weddings, so all the brides-to-be need to be watching this.
So we're both married and we have a lot of stories of our own weddings to share with you guys.
Besides that, we'll be talking a lot about interesting wedding tales that we have found on social platforms.
So let's discuss some of the stories WedWel shared with us that we feel need to be talked about.
Let's dive in.
So the first topic WedWel has given us is who pays for what, the Lurkiwalas or the Lurkawalas. Misbah, your thoughts?
The thoughts. Okay. So if we're going to talk about Maiman culture, so I'm a Maiman and Atiq is a Punjabi, you know. So in Maimans, like there are very particular set of rules. There's Baat Paki, which we call Meethamu, and then there are like proper wedding events and everything. So if, for example, we're doing the nikah outfit, so mostly in Maimans, brides do that.
Okay.
And in Walima, of course, the guide gives the outfit. So when I remember Atiq and I were discussing the details and everything, honestly, even in Punjabi cultures, it's the same thing. Okay, you know, Larkyo wala ka event, you guys can do it, and Larko ka from the clothes, from the outfits, from the earrings and everything is going to be gifted by the guy. So we weren't so confused about it, to be honest. But yeah, dusre agar if you talk about like different sects in Maiman and caste and everything, usme for example, Kutiana, they're so particular about everything they do, and I'm a Halari. So yeah, things weren't that different, to be very honest. But of course, if you are getting married in the same caste, so a lot of things are much more similar.
It's more simpler, I feel, because
Yeah,
there's nothing
it's easy
to be
to get.
spoken about. So I feel like it's a lot more simpler. But it's not just that nikah event. It's not just the main big events. Now the weddings that, you know, most people are having these days, they have a lot of smaller events. They have bigger events. So I feel like a lot of the burden does usually fall on the Lurkiwalas.
Oh, for sure. It's been happening since centuries, don't you
Yeah.
think so? I mean, talk about our mums' weddings, talk about our weddings. Even though we have been evolving a lot in this world, like, you know, so many things that were being done by girls, ab thoda sa wo equality wala aa gaya, but we're still not there.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like, you know, a wedding is between two people and the families, for sure, because you need to be civil with both the families. So I feel like if you discuss all the expectations and everything before it happens, so it's not going to hurt someone.
Yeah.
And these things, I think they need to be discussed, and ladki walon pe kam thoda sa weight hona chahiye is cheez ka, because it's not their job to do everything.
Everything. Agreed.
It should be equal.
Agreed. You know how you spoke about cultures? Now I feel like, you know how before, say like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, people were generally more keen on marrying into their own cultures.
Makes sense.
Maybe because it would just make things easier. There weren't a lot of things that had to be made clear. But now as the world is getting bigger, there's more, you know, people
100%.
getting married into all different kinds of cultures. So for what I feel is that, you know, there's a lot of social media. There's a lot of social media.
100%. And everything is there.
Yeah, so there's a lot of social media, and there's also people following things that are, you know, that's not the culture of our country, you know? So say like if someone is, I'm a Sindhi. So in Sindhis, a lot of the burden falls on the guy. So when my dad got married, yes, I think majority of the burden falls onto the guy. Yeah. When my dad got married to my mom, I think he did everything because he
same.
Yeah. So it is like, so they take it as their responsibility to bring in the girl and get her everything she needs because they're bringing in someone's
she's changing
daughter.
her whole life for you.
Exactly.
So it's a good way to welcome the girl.
Yeah.
So in Maimans even, so that's the same thing happened in my dad's wedding, like mom and dad. I was watching their video, right? So it was so cool watching your parents go through all of this, the things that you went through.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad telling me, you know, this was by us, and I picked this up. I went with my sisters, and I got it. So my dad, mashallah, he did so much for my mom, and I think this is the kind of expectation. I'm not like saying to do the same thing, but learn a little bit. If you think your parents have not done the same thing, maybe you can do things differently.
And regardless of whether your parents had weddings where majority of the burden fell on one party, I feel like, you know, we're growing, we're evolving. You should feel, yeah, you should.
It's 2024.
Exactly. So we should, you know, talk about things and, you know, make it a little more easier for both the parties.
100%.
Everyone should feel comfortable doing whatever they can in their own means.
100%.
It shouldn't be, there's expectations, obviously, and I feel like a lot of that has to do with culture. So
it is culture. It's not even the religion. It's the culture.
Yeah. So, you know, like I have a friend who's also a Sindhi. She's married into an Urdu-speaking family, and her in-laws have brought in a lot of cultures and traditions from India. You know, so in India, and a lot of the a lot of
even our culture,
Yes.
like it has somewhat of an Indian drive.
Of
like,
course, I mean,
it comes
yeah.
because we've migrated
Of
from
course,
there. That
of
makes
course.
sense.
I mean, yes, but you know, a lot of cultures here, like in Sindh and Punjab, everyone has held on to their culture also.
Definitely.
But say someone has married into a completely different culture, then there's a lot of hard conversations to be
yes,
had.
for
you know,
sure, for
between
sure.
the husband and the wife, or the parents and the parents.
100%, 100%.
So I feel like this whole situation, there has to be a lot more progression.
And I feel like communication is the key.
Yeah.
Because I remember having because I had like maybe 6 months to plan my wedding, right? So if you're a Maiman, you have a Maiman tubber to invite. मतलब उसकी चाची को भी बुला लो, उसकी चाची के बेटे को भी बुला लो. So बैठे बैठे अम्मी के सामने मैं request करती थी, अम्मी max 500 people, mama max 500. नहीं बेटा, 800 से कम की तो बात.
My wedding.
Imagine, yeah, yours was a COVID wedding.
Yes.
मेरी शादी में अम्मी ने अपनी पूरी कसरतें पूरी की हैं, और I don't know क्यों पूरी की हैं, because सारे भाइयों में और बहनों में उन्होंने की हैं. But she didn't stop at my wedding.
Yeah.
I
You're the
remember,
baby of the family.
I swear, I remember there was this Arabian Night kind of theme happening at my house, and imagine my brother, he was so crazy कि उसने एक live camel उठा के मेरे garden में रख दिया था. Go, okay, it's an Arabian night, we need to be wearing kaftans and everything. And I told my mama, don't invite so many people, just keep it 100. And the next thing I know, मैं ऊपर आती हूँ, fully decked up in my kaftan, looking cute. और उसमें अम्मी के सामने सब बैठा हुआ है, like the tubber. My husband taught me that word, just by the way. The tubber thing, in Punjabi, they say it a lot. So that's what they taught me. Ab, shorting things up a little bit, I feel like cultures and everything should be respected, and different cultures are there. वो बात है.
Agreed. We should respect every culture, but I feel like our culture has a lot of room to grow. And
Makes
I
sense.
feel, you know, when it comes to weddings, you should make sure every party is comfortable. We should make sure there's not too much burden on one party. It should be in a way where
100%.
everyone's having a great time.
100%.
And everyone's comfortable, everyone is happy. You know, it shouldn't be a pressure.
Have good duas and everything.
Yes.
And at the same time, Alicia, I think you can't make everyone happy, so it should start
Definitely.
with you.
Definitely.
If you're happy about
it should be
your event.
about the bride and groom, but it's
about
not.
the bride.
It should definitely be about the bride and groom, but it's more about the whole family and the extended family. So I feel like that's one thing that needs to be changed, because a lot of the
100%.
expectations that come with it is to
100%.
make sure, oh, chachi bhi khush hai, nani ki
khush hai.
behin ki, bahu bhi
Bahu
khush hai.
bhi
Like
khush hai.
everyone
What
is
the hell?
happy, but it's not about the bride and the groom. So I feel like if the
So-
bride and the groom are, you know, making the decisions, it would be very
It should be them
different.
completely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So our next topic from WedWel is going to be about wedding planning expectations from the groom, from the family, from the friends. So let's dig in a little bit.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on delegating? Or do you feel like it's better to stay on top of every single thing and make sure it goes the way you want?
I mean, I'm like a next level Virgo, if that makes sense. I'm very particular about how I do things. And I'm gonna give shit to someone. Sorry about that. I'm gonna give shit to someone that why aren't you doing that and why aren't you doing that? But in the end, I feel like doing everything myself. A small example, I had my AirPods on my wedding day for like good 2 hours till the photographer pointed it out, like, you know, you need to remove them because they look bad. But
you were taking care of all the little details.
Yeah,
till the
because
very
that's
last
what.
minute.
So basically, I didn't remember that, right? So many things were happening during the wedding day. When I went through the pictures and the video and everything, and I asked my photographer, like, how long did I wear these for? She said maybe 2 hours. I took them
goodness.
out on the entrance.
Yeah.
So imagine when I was in my car and when I was getting off the car for the entrance, I had my AirPods on, and the photographer was like, you know, you need to remove them. They're not cool. They're not
Okay, so 4 years down the line, when you look back, do you still feel like you should have taken care of everything, or do you feel like you should have handed it off to people you trusted and just relaxed and enjoyed your big day?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I have a very supportive family. I think if I have to change few things, definitely give them a little bit of the load, because I remember I was taking care of my wedding cake, right? And we didn't pick it up.
Oh my goodness.
After 2 days, I realized that, oh my God, I have paid for the wedding cake.
Oh
the
my
full amount is there, and we didn't pick up the wedding cake.
Oh.
And honestly, the bakery called maybe 4 to 5 times, but we were so
Obviously,
occupied.
there's so many things happening.
So occupied that after 2 days, I'm like, wait, why don't I have pictures with my wedding cake? Because I didn't bring it.
Oh my goodness.
So that taught me a lot of it. That taught me in a lot of ways that you do need to give others some tasks.
I
And it's
agree.
not like they didn't want it, but they
I
didn't
agree.
want me to be a bridezilla. Ki bhai kar lo, jao kar lo, kar lo.
So I think one advice that I would like to give to all brides to be is to delegate. delegate your tasks.
100%.
Have a group of people that you trust with your life, who know you, who know your
100%.
taste, who know how you would like to do things, and make sure that you delegate it to them. Yeah.
And it's about personal touch, right? If you
Yeah.
can like relate with them and you can tell them like, this is how I want it.
Yeah.
100% nahi ho payega, but at least
good.
90% it can be there. Like, I remember looking at your wedding video. We weren't friends back in the day, but your wedding video was absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
And the details were so on point,
Yeah.
so on point that
think
I
I
was like,
spent-
this girl spent a lot of time on
I
this.
spent, I don't know, like nights and nights planning every little detail.
It was visible.
Yeah, I agree. But I
Alhamdulillah.
would just, if I go back to like 3 years ago, I would give myself this advice that, make sure that you are just enjoying more time. And you're just
100%.
telling your friends and your family to do the things that you like, or make sure it's done that same particular way.
Yeah.
So I think that's very, very important, because
You need to have fun.
yeah, I remember I was about to go in for my entrance, and I was running into the room, and I was adjusting all the welcome bags, because it was a COVID wedding, so I had like sanitizers and masks, and I didn't want anyone to get sick, so I wanted everything to be like prepared.
The details are so on
yes,
point.
Yes, I had like the KN95 masks. I had like sanitizers, and I was like, stay away from each other, but please come to the wedding.
Have fun. You're gonna have
a
so
great
much
time.
fun.
Yeah.
Well, that was so
yeah,
cute.
so I was like, before like walking in with my dad, I remember like just organizing the bags and just having like them sent out and making sure.
Did you
everything-
enter with your dad?
I did.
Oh my God, that is so
I
cute.
entered. So I had I entered with my family. Then just to walk down the aisle to the
That's
to
lovely.
the nikah area, my dad walked me down.
That is so
Yeah.
cute. I have a
That's how
very
I-
weird story connecting with that. I don't know if I should say it.
Please say it.
So, like I said, I'm not a bridezilla. People are going to say it differently. I mean, they can
Not
have a
what I've
different,
heard, but okay.
or whatever. Okay.
Sure.
So I'll start with the wedding photography, right? So I had hired Ariba Mansoor to do my wedding photography and everything. So I was like, because Atiq, he's so particular about
Yes,
everything.
100%.
Like this is my side. He's more particular than I am. That's
Yeah.
how I became so particular.
Yeah.
Trust me, I was a normal girl.
I feel like your
Take it.
side you should know before the wedding. You
Yeah.
should have everything arranged. before
Imagine
the
your
wedding.
husband telling you your
Yeah.
own side. So that was very weird. But I was like, we have a meeting with the photographer. We need to meet her and we need to, delegate things and let her know what to do.
Yeah.
And Atiq came in the room, sad all macho, and he goes like, okay, so what cameras are we using? Nada, the photographer was like, we're using this, we're
Yeah.
using that. He's like, we need to change that.
Oh my goodness.
And imagine the quote was double.
Of course.
The quote was double because my husband was like, no, this camera is going to capture my best side. This camera is going to capture your best side. So we need to change that. So when Ariba, my photographer, she gave me another summon, I'm like, is it going to be worth it? She's like, 100%.
But it was worth
And
it.
it was.
It is worth it.
It was absolutely stunning, even
Yeah.
though a lot of disasters happened, not going to lie, even before the entrance. But tell me more about your wedding, because your wedding was COVID wedding.
So I feel
How
like when
stressful
we
was
went,
that?
it was actually amazing. It was my dream wedding.
Alhamdulillah.
Because my dream wedding was like I only wanted the people that I cared about there. I only wanted my close family and my close friends, and I didn't want it to be like, my sister's wedding had 1,200 people. It was a traditional
100%
Sindhi wedding.
Sindhi wedding.
Yes, so there was like everyone and their extended families and their in-laws invited.
Imam.
Yes, everyone. So I wanted it so badly to be just very intimate. So my whole plan always was to have like a very intimate nikah.
So
And
COVID did work in your
it
favor
worked.
a little bit.
Yeah, but I was going to do this regardless. I was going to have an intimate nikah and then have like the big event for everyone else. But
But did your mom agree with that?
she agreed to cut
I
the
love
list
you,
by
auntie.
half. she
love
cut
you.
the list by half, but then when it came to certain people, she was like, chup kar de. She's like,
So she's a Sindhi,
I'm
I'm a Maiman. We both can understand what we're saying. So
We're
a
always
lot
talking
of that
to
will
each
come
other
in
in
here.
Sindhi and Memni, and we understand everything.
I swear. I mean, the wedding tales have so much happening. I remember when I was watching your wedding story and it was done beautifully
Oh my
again.
God. I feel like I put in all the details for the wedding video. Like Amar was just
And it
like,
worked out,
Yeah,
I
Amar was
swear.
like, itne sare details. There's 40, 50 people at our wedding, but I feel like it was so
But when
worth
you
it.
don't you think when you look at the
It was
video, you're like,
captured,
it is
yes.
so worth it.
Yes, I got,
That was worth it.
Yes, I got Vahid from Wedding Story Films, and he was fantastic. You know how like you had to give direction? He did such a fantastic job for me. Like he told me, okay, just come and do this, and I've got the rest. And I was really
And you
relaxed.
needed that. I feel
yeah,
like
because
you
I feel
needed
like I
that.
was taking care of every single
Everything
thing
makes
that
sense.
I was I needed someone
बस
to
मुझे
just,
बता दो मुझे क्या करना
and
और मैं
it's till
करना.
date
And it turned out so well.
Yes, it's still date my favorite video.
What
I
outfit
still
were
watch
you
it.
wearing on your wedding day?
So this was actually supposed to be my nikah outfit. It was from Tina Durrani. Yeah, yeah. So it was beautiful, but that wasn't my wedding look. But
You told
there
me.
were so many disasters that I was just like, bas ho jaye, khatam ho jaye, let the events be, the way they are. And
You know what caught my eye the most in your wedding video was your outfit and the details. Because I remember going to Tina Durrani, and I'm a very particular person. I don't like wasting time. मतलब मैं 4-6 outfits नहीं
Do you want
पहन
to
के
know
decide
something
कर.
very funny about my wedding
Tell
outfit?
me.
So the outfit that I was wearing was the outfit the choli was not a part of the outfit.
No,
the choli
you
was
customized it?
No, it was from another outfit that I was getting just as wedding formal wear. And
mix and match.
Yeah, so and my initial nikah was supposed to be very small and intimate, and it was supposed to be in the winter, and it was like full sleeves.
Yeah, you
so I
can't
was
go
like,
half
I
sleeves.
cannot. So then I just paired it last minute.
That is interesting.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was very
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Just like you guys, we're gathering a lot of new information about each other. So yeah, stick with us on this. But yeah, it's so funny. I remember when I was looking at your video and you were wearing the Tina Durrani outfit, which you looked gorgeous in. Because when I went in and I walked in Tina Durrani and she's like, what do you want? Because Bakhtavar, my sister, she was a Tina Durrani bride.
Yeah.
And I wanted to fly all the way to Lahore for my designer. Because I really liked the designers there. But Bakhtavar was like, how about just give it a chance?
Yeah.
Tina Durrani is going to do an amazing job. And honestly, she did.
She did a fantastic
She
job.
did. So I had walked in, your outfit somewhat, I think the choli was there, and that was the choli that I had my eye on.
I just love
I'm not
the
gonna
choli.
lie. I swear.
love that choli.
Because I got married in December and you got married like in March?
August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it was like, right after that. So I remember seeing your choli and I'm like, this is absolutely stunning. I feel like my outfit was just made for me and your outfit was made for you. Like it had the perfect touch of us being personal. So I remember I saw my outfit and I was like, this needs some kind of customization for sure, because I customized my whole outfit.
Yeah.
Some colors were same, but Tina was so mashallah talented and she was so right about few things. I remember मैंने पहला outfit पहना and Tina was setting up the dupatta for me and I'm like, you know what, this is the outfit.
Yeah.
This is what's going to go on. But besides that, we're going to touch a lot of other topics in this podcast. So tell me about Groom's expectations, about tasks. What do you think that Amar did differently, basically, like his job, basically?
So I know that traditionally the man or the groom will take care of his event and the bride will take care of her event. But for me, my wedding was all about the little details, and I really wanted him to be a part of all of it with me, and I really wanted him to be happy with all the details.
Yeah.
I had a very Disney themed wedding. I know it's a little immature, but the song.
No, that is so cute.
When I was a little girl, that's all I imagined. So the song that I walked down the aisle to was the Carl and Ellie song from Up, and our first song was the first dance song was the Toy Story song.
That is so sweet.
You got
That's adorable.
That's our song. So I wanted to make it like us, but I didn't want him to be caught off guard, he ho kya raha hai yahan pe Disney music chal rahi hai. So,
I hate that.
Yeah, so then he was actually a part of all the planning, and he helped me decide. He said he wanted veto power, so he was just like, anything I don't like, please let's take it out.
Did you take his advice though?
He really didn't have any problem with anything, thank God, and I wouldn't have listened. I would not have listened.
Because knowing you're so particular about details. You would love to have someone's parents share, advice on that.
I wanted him to feel involved.
Yeah.
And he was very happy being there and not having to do too much, but he was definitely a part of being there for me. If I'm taking care of the details, he was really there for me. He helped me, when I was stressing out about things not going right, he would help adjust it because he was very good at that, and I was just good at being stressed. So he would help take care of things. So I feel like that's very important because it's about you, the two of you, starting your life together.
100%.
So I feel like the groom definitely should be a little more involved.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I'm not saying be as involved as the bride, but you should know what's going on your wedding day.
Exactly.
Don't be a nomad to it, मतलब पता होना चाहिए कि हाँ अब ये करना है ऐसा नहीं
आपकी शादी है
हाँ आपकी शादी है I mean it is all about the bride for sure ये मेरे बारे में तुम्हारे बारे में but थोड़ा सा चल जाएगा I think with Atiq took so much involvement with the Cavals, right? Because me and Atiq, we love Cavali. I remember when we first met and he picked me up and he's like, you know what, we're going to do something interesting and we're going to play songs one by one and we're just going to see how we resonate with each other's playlists because we love music and we love Cavalis. And the first thing I put was a Cavali because I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, and I love how आजकल के wedding cultures में they love to put Cavali events.
It's a part of our culture.
That's all what I'm about.
Yeah.
So I think मैंने अपने मेमन टब्बर से बहुत लड़ाई की थी कि कवाली को निकाह के दिन होने दे. That's another subject, just by the way.
Yeah.
There was no location that was giving the wedding का पूरा जगह for the whole day. So I had to book like 2 places. Like there was a plot and there was another plot.
So you have to change the
Exactly.
location.
वहाँ पे वो लोग yoga classes वगैरह कराते, but it was such a huge space. They're like, you know, how about we do 2 of these things and you can do the stage and everything there,
and move on for the
दूसरी
Cavali
जगह पे
night.
we can do
Yeah.
the Cavali. So I remember जितनी मैं control freak थी, जितनी मैं stressed थी, but in the Cavali I jammed all the way in. And funny
How
part,
could you not?
funny part, there was this Punjabi auntie, a lovely woman, but I remember, so I remember she came to us, she came to my mum or someone in the family, and they're like, कवाल की आवाज़ थोड़ी कम हो सकती है, and I'm like looking at my mom and I'm like, कोई म्यूजिक प्लेयर नहीं है, ना ये कोई डीजे है जो कहे आराम से करे. It cannot happen. Like कवाल की आवाज़ कम नहीं हो सकती है आंटी जी. And we paid a lot of money for that. So Atiq honestly helped me a lot with the Qavalis. He's like, you know what, Misbah, iski suno. He's so good with it. And the guy,
It's his event too. He wants it to be great.
Exactly. And I remember, Alicia, my dad, I got the love for Cavali from my dad, just by the way. So Abba got up and he started dancing, throwing money, pura मेमन चीज़ वहाँ पे चल रहा था, and it was so much fun. Like I think that is one part of my wedding that I would never want to change.
Yeah.
Never. And I'm going to talk about it with my kids all the goddamn time. I don't care how irritated they get with that. That is happening.
Event of mine was fantastic.
I mean, I chose a Disneyland thing happening. You're going to listen about it till the time.
Alara watches my wedding video. I'm telling
so
you,
cute.
From now, she'll like sit down and watch the video with me. Like we do that
and
on
she's
Sundays.
one, she's one and a half year old. Oh my God, she's a diva, mashallah, mashallah. She's a diva. But yeah, so do you think that the things that you told Amar about the roles and the tasks and everything, he did a good job?
I think he did a good job. Yes, he could have been a little better, but he did a great job.
But I think, mashallah, everything turned out so well.
Yeah.
But if you're going to talk about the wedding disasters, we have so many.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
We have so many, man.
I feel like every wedding has things that will not go the way they originally planned or it was originally planned. But I feel like that's not something like 4 years down the line and 3 years down the line, the disasters are not what we're thinking about.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But you know, honestly, I do think about the disasters.
Let's be real.
I do think about. I'm like, what did I do and how did I do it? Like,
why?
I remember there was this waiter at my wedding, and I remember how you told me that you had this whole whale thing going.
Yeah.
So I had the somewhat of the same thing, and there was this like proper dupatta that I had picked. कि ये हमारे मेरे रति के बीच में there's going to be platforms, और उसके बीच में होगा.
And then the nikah's done, it goes down.
Yeah, and the guy, the event planner, didn't bring that dupatta.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And no, it's kind of funny because the guy, the waiter, was बेचारे का बहुत बुरा दिन था. इसका बहुत बुरा दिन था. Alisha, he came to me and he's like, Baji, Khabar bhai went like कि वो दुपट्टा नहीं है, आप ये दुपट्टा ले लें. I'm not gonna say it, too much information हो जाएगा, but I said the most meanest thing, and I'm like, Khabar bhai को बोले ये दुपट्टा अपने पास रखें, मैं नहीं चाहती हूँ. And I know for a fact कि जब मेरी entrance हो रही थी, my husband hired 6 photographers. Like we hired 6 to 7 photographers, and इनकी entrance पहले हुई है, और उसमें सारे photographers इनके साथ है, और मैं, and just by the way my brother, उसने एक proper big 4-wheeler एक bride के लिए उतरने के लिए मंगाई थी. So it looked like I belong to a gangster family or something. Guns लेके मैं अभी निकलूंगी और मैं fire करना शुरू करूंगी because मैं एक टंड्रा से उतर रही हूँ with that cane and with everything, and सामने photographer नहीं है. तो अगर मेरी entrance की video भी देखी उसमें मैं blah blah blah, I'm talking, I'm like, you know, saying stuff to my dad that this is not okay, this is not how it should be done. But then I'm like, cut it out, photographer, we don't need that. But yeah, it was really funny. It was really funny.
Speaking of,
tell me more about yours. I want to know.
Throughout my when I'm walking down, I'm talking to my dad the whole time, and
right?
it's in my video. I'm asking him things. I'm like, okay, this is it. And
dude,
he's
we're
like,
friends for a reason. I swear. Is it like a universal thing? Because I feel like that was so weird. And up Instagram pe dekho their brides like working with
so elegant
and elegance.
I'm
and
like, Baba,
where was it? Where was it, Baba? Where was it? Yahan kuch nahi hua tha. So tell me more about the disasters that you went through because I want to listen to it.
So because my wedding was relatively small, there weren't a lot of disasters, but with the goodie bags and there was things that I was
that
running.
You were wrapping up
yeah,
before your
because the
entrance?
girl who was supposed to deliver them messed them all up. So I was doing them last minute. But apart from that, alhamdulillah, it went really well because there was just not that many people. You know, I feel like that's
Makes
what
sense.
I had a really strict rule: no kids allowed that are not. Like
oh my God,
sister's
I
kid.
should have done that.
Yeah, because I learned this lesson. On my sister's wedding, there was like kids like ruining the flower arrangements and they're just running around.
It's
I
so
was like,
crazy,
no
it's so
babies.
annoying.
I was like, unless you're related to me,
You're not coming.
you're not coming. So
No.
I feel like that really helped because they were all adults, so everyone was just having a great time. They left their kids
I
at
wish I could
home.
have done that.
Yeah.
But मेरी
You couldn't
मेरी
have.
माँ नहीं मानती.
You couldn't have.
वो बिल्कुल नहीं मान सकती थी
Yeah.
because अगर मेरे घर में बच्चों को अडॉप्ट किया जाए वो एक पूरी फैमिली itself बन जाती है. So you can't dismiss कि बेटा आप मेरी शादी में नहीं आओगे.
COVID saved my life.
COVID
basically.
saved your life basically.
On my engagement, on my engagement, everyone thought it was a wedding because it was around like 400 or 500 people and it was such a big event.
Yeah.
So I feel like we got
some kind of expectation was there too.
So when they went from that to like 40 people, no one is
But
invited.
I feel like in that way you got
I
best
got
of
the
the both
worlds,
worlds.
yeah.
That was the
and
best part.
Yeah, I prefer the second, honestly, because I feel like it's so much more intimate and it's
Makes
all
sense.
about you and your husband. It's not about the
Puppu
whole
क्या
world.
कहेंगे ये क्या
वो क्या
कहेंगे
कहेंगे?
Let it be, let
You
it be.
live your
I'm going to
life.
do my thing.
Yes.
I've spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of effort, a lot of time. So it's all about me
Yeah.
and little bit about my husband.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So for me, I think there was no wedding disasters as such because I got Tahir from Parfair and he was
Alhamdulillah.
fantastic. I gave him like a spreadsheet. I gave him picture references and I had everything organized beforehand and he was just amazing at execution. So I wasn't really worried about that. The goodie bags were done from someone else. I don't want to name, but she messed them up. Like it was like terrible. So right before walking in, I'm like rearranging everything.
But don't you think it's weird? Like you give such people your job and it's about your wedding.
Yes.
It's so personal. I
Yes,
feel
I
like
agree.
if you are like agreeing to do the job, then you should do
should be
it
done
properly. At
properly,
least don't match up to my expectation on the 100% scale,
That-
but do
so
at least
I
the
feel like
viable thing.
That's where delegation comes in. Like make sure
Communication,
you
yeah, for
delegate
sure.
to your family, your friends, your husband, everyone else should be helping make your big day
Special.
Yes, and it's all about you. So I had my best friends were there and they like organized everything. Like this second, this person is walking in, so I was just really comfortable. Like I had one of my closest friends organize I walked into the song Up.
That's so cute.
From Up called Carl and Ellie's song. So she had like seconds. Okay, this is the second my nephew would walk in. This is when my brother would
so
walk in. This is when
cute.
my sister would walk in. So she knew everything. So I was just relaxed. I was like, guys, please tell me when I have to walk. I've had a really
And
tough
I'll just
day.
walk in.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk in. I'm gonna do my thing. And I was just like ranting to my dad the whole time. I was like, Baba, the goodie bags, Baba, this, and he was just like, relax. It's okay.
Relax, beta.
It's
It all
okay.
worked out.
It's okay.
It all worked
You're not
out.
my headache anymore. Just relax. Just go get married.
That is so cute.
Okay, so yeah, I think that delegation is key and just
So
making sure your
important.
family, friends, and husband, everyone's involved and you have a good time. It's your wedding. Hopefully, it'll only happen once.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, some of us we needed to work out because
Yeah.
like ek baar honi hai, but yeah, I mean whatever Allah has written for us in the
Yeah.
end. But I don't know, I cannot relate with that so much because on my wedding day, just like I said, I was really overworked. So it was a daylight wedding, right?
Yeah.
So my makeup artist was here at probably around मैंने फजर पढ़ी है. I slept for a while. I woke up and my makeup artist was Steve Mumtaz. I wanted basically someone who can come to my house and do my makeup because
Make
I
it
don't like
comfortable,
going to the
yeah.
parlor and making all that thing happen. So I was like, whoever can come to my house, and he did such a beautiful
a good
job.
job, yeah.
I mean, he did whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to go for like subtle makeup.
Yeah.
So I was very overworked, and for some reason I'm actually married to a Punjabi tabber, right? So the barat was like 1.5 hours late. Imagine the bride was there
But
before
that's,
time.
in Pakistani weddings, I feel like we should just expect delays.
Imagine
Unfortunately.
people who were so basically my wedding happened near Shari Faisal, right? Because there was no kind of location jo mujhe itne short time pe defense mein, trust me, I went to like probably around 70 locations.
It was
crazy.
planned last minute
It was
also.
planned like no 3 months, even 3 months nowadays
Yeah,
is not enough.
Not enough. You need like a
Honestly,
whole year to plan
this
it
is for
the way you
all the
want.
brides to be
Plan in advance, guys.
plan it in advance because
plan
trust
everything in
me,
advance.
3 months, 4 months are not enough.
Yeah.
So coming to the point, I did my
I planned everything in 2 weeks.
dude, you're next
2
level
weeks.
talented. You're
I
next,
was like, I want
can't
to be
do it.
married. I want to be done with the wedding part,
I mean, if my daughter, whenever my daughter or my son is gonna get married, you're
I got
there.
you.
Then
I got you.
I got you. I'll probably help you a little bit with Lara's wedding, but you can't expect so
I
many
have
details.
plans for
from me.
wedding already, by the way.
But Honestly, I like how we have covered this topic because we still have so much to talk about.
But I think that's enough.
That's enough for this one. So let's just go to our next topic and see where we go.
Okay, sounds good. So the next topic WedWel has given us is wedding outfits. Gatekeeping wedding outfits, who you are going to be telling details of your wedding outfit to, who you want to discuss it with, whose opinions you really want. What are your thoughts, Misbah?
I mean, gatekeeping the outfit, no shade. I am someone that I do gatekeep a little bit. हाँ कि थोड़ा इतना नहीं बताना मतलब keep it some details to yourself. Yeah, of course my mom saw the outfit and my sister saw the outfit and Tina Durrani was so good with the delivery that I remember I got my outfit almost like 1 month before my wedding, and my walima outfit I got it a night before my event. So that was really stressful, just by the way.
I can't imagine.
I swear. But gatekeeping is okay. I mean, it's about personal preference. If you are so particular about the details and you just want people to have that first look, how it happens, like, you know, in American weddings and all of that, they just don't, they have these really cute videos of first look and everything. So yeah, you can gatekeep a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's good to gatekeep a little bit because you shouldn't put all the details out there.
Definitely.
But as a bride, I did show my outfit to my sisters and everyone. But with friends, I kept the details a little bit away. Like, I was like, you know, how about you guys see the first look on the wedding day?
What about Atiq? Did you show him any details?
No. I remember when I went to Tina Durrani for the first time, and my sister Anam, because she was like breaking down, like she saw me in a wedding outfit and she started crying. I still have a very cute video. She was like, she's crying, she's sobbing like anyone, and she's like, you know, I'm gonna send a little bit of the videos to Atiq, but I'm gonna put black and white or something like that, because Atiq was in Medina that time. So I remember she showed this video to Atiq, and she's like, you know, this is gonna be your bride, and that's about it. So even Atiq didn't know. And just by the way, the details that I got on my dupatta with Atiq's initials, Atiq didn't even know about that. So on my wedding day, I remember I was sitting on the stage and I was like, you need to look for something. He's like, what? I was like, suspicious. Is it going to be like, I was like, how about, let's do the guessing game. He's like, Misbah, you need to tell me, what do I have to look for? I was like, just look at the dupatta. Look at the dupatta. And he's like, oh, there's my name on it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm too sappy. I can be genuinely emotional sometimes. But yeah, that's one of the details that I got in my outfit that I didn't tell almost no one about.
Okay, you didn't tell
like,
anyone.
I think only Mama knew about it. You know, I'm just getting his name. But best part is Tina Durrani did like a last minute change. She got it done in Urdu. So that was quite desi and that was fun. So I think yehi details thodi gatekeep ki thi or kuch minor details. But tell me about you. I want to know about you.
For me, I think that I had a moment with my family, my parents, siblings, and my really, really close friends where I showed them the outfit. I tried it on for them. I wanted them to, like, you know, I just wanted to
have a look.
Yeah, have that first look.
And you have so many memories with
them. So I felt like, you know, I wanted them to be a part of it with me, but for everyone else, no one got to see the outfit. I felt like it should just be, you know, for the wedding.
For the wedding. Like, you know, it's not about even gatekeeping. It's your personal moment, I feel like. It should be cherished in a way, like, you know, you get to share it with your family and your friends, someone who's super close to you. And someone who has added a lot of good, positive vibes in this wedding that is happening for you, in this marriage that is happening for you. So yeah, discussing the details with your family and friends is one of the good things.
Definitely.
But gatekeeping and being a little bit like, you know, out there, okay, you don't know what I'm wearing is kind of fun. I'm not going to lie. It is kind of fun.
Definitely. It's like a surprise. What is the bride wearing?
What am I wearing? Yeah, it's that.
Yeah.
Cute. Yeah. So that's one thing that I think needs to be discussed. Like in har kisi ka, just like I said,
everyone has
their own perspective, and yeah.
So I think just having a moment with your family
makes
is okay,
the most of it.
It is okay to keep the details
gatekeep
to yourself.
it. I mean, if you want to gatekeep your outfit, do it all the way. It's your wedding.
Do whatever you want.
You're the judge of it.
It's your wedding.
और एक बार ही mostly करनी है तो पूरी सही तरीके से आप करें और दूसरी बार भी करनी है तब भी सही करें खैर कोई मसला नहीं है.
Okay, Misbah, so let's talk about some of these Desi wedding stories that we found online.
Okay, so the first one is that during Juta Chupai, which is hiding the shoes of the groom still had the shoes on. You know how the pressure is. So family members tried to take it off from the groom, except too much pressure was used and the groom ended up with a dislocated knee.
Oh my goodness.
Imagine.
Oh,
poor
my
guy.
Goodness.
Poor guy.
That's just disrespectful.
I think so, because I get it, like, you know, it's a rasam and everyone wants to follow that and there's money coming in, but bechare bande ko ek piece mein to wapas bhejo ghar.
So my mom straight up vetoed that. She was like, there is no Juta Chupai.
Yeah.
She said, I don't want it.
So did my mom, and my sisters were not happy with it. So like Atiq has like these like very delicate fingers, and they're like, "Beta, ab zor se karo ki toot jayegi." So my mom was like, "Beta, just stop it." And auntie was sweet enough; she handed over the money later after
Cute.
the event. So yeah, it can be done in a civil way. You don't have to dislocate the poor guys.
Yeah, the same way it happened for us. I think that one rasam that I'm just not about is this juta chupai rasam.
Yeah?
Because, you know, you're taking the guy's shoe off and there's just like so much haggling.
I mean, I
Just
feel like
no.
the guy's family knows that this is a rasam. You can just do it nicely. I
Yeah.
mean, all the batter and all the
Or the
arguments.
guy
and
can
it's
just
fun.
give his shoe up
Yeah, just
if it's so necessary.
utar lo,
Utar ke
de
de
do.
do, please.
I mean, loops honge to
If you
bechara kya
don't want a
karega?
dislocated knee, guys,
Yeah,
please give up
you
the
don't
shoe.
need that. Trust me, you want your guy to go back home in one piece.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, so be vocal brides about that. So that's funny.
Okay, so for our next story, this person writes, I'm in the middle of planning with my parents and I'm also regretting all of this. So much money and effort to impress a group of 350 people that includes family members and aunties I don't even like. Can relate.
I swear.
And some whom I barely know at all. I have no idea how much this would all stress me out and I wish I would push further for a destination wedding or something simpler. But for my parents, what will people think? That phrase is our ruin. It's also frustrating when you see other weddings written up in magazines and websites and it seems like everyone wears luxury designer lehengas that cost well over $5,000 to $10,000. I know it's not actually true, but the more I look into clothes, the more it seems other designers have inflated their prices too. I have a hard time looking at these things that I'm likely only ever going to wear once and saying it's worth that kind of money. Okay, so what are your thoughts on everyone spending $5,000 to $10,000, which is like around 30 lakh rupees on a jorda?
I feel like to each their own. I mean, if you have a budget that you want to spend that much money on a wedding outfit, you can. It's all about the budget that you have. It's all about your preference.
But it should never be about impressing anyone else.
Yeah,
It should only be
100%. It's about you.
Yeah, making you happy.
How do you want to look? How is the special gonna go? The day gonna look like? That's all what matters. You cannot just impress everyone and think that, oh yeah, this person is happy and this person is not. It's just
Or
everyone has a
this
different.
person had this, so I must have this.
No,
you know?
I feel like that's just a weird way of going on about things. Okay, you can't just be insecure about doing something about
ऐसे
yourself.
नहीं होता, बिल्कुल.
ऐसे नहीं होता. You should do everything जो आपको अच्छा लगे. And this girl that I know of, I remember she was wearing a particular outfit which was beautiful. I feel like in our Pakistani market there are so many guys who do embroideries and they don't get
They do a fantastic
They
job.
do a fantastic job, like you know these shops and everyone, and but people don't prefer it because अब लोग क्या सोचेंगे
ये
वाला
क्या
chapter
कहेंगे
आ
कि
जाता है.
designer से नहीं है.
Exactly. So I feel like people need to make amends with their budget. Okay, bhai, this is the budget and this is what we're gonna work on. But one thing that I don't like is that you're putting a designer's name on top of it when it's not even by them.
Yeah,
That's just weird to me. मतलब either wear an outfit जिसका variation आपको जो outfit पसंद है उसके तरह हो and a designer can give you for a lesser price.
Definitely.
Or just don't like impersonate them or be like, you know, okay, yeah, okay.
ये इस designer का
ये
है.
इस designer का है and मैंने ऐसे पहना. It just leaves a very small ground of self-respect, I think.
Yeah, it just leaves a
Okay,
sour taste
be
in your mouth.
natural. I mean, there is someone. Me, I really didn't want to spend so much money on my makeup artist, so I hired Steve Mumtaz. I could have gone for Sanobar Yasser, I could have gone for very big makeup artists.
Yeah.
But this guy was willing to come to my house. So what did I see in this thing? What was my comfort about?
Definitely.
So if you cannot, for example, afford a designer that is costing you more than 20 lakh, 30 lakh, just get a normal designer.
That's in your budget.
In
that
your budget,
gives you
just-
the look that you want.
Don't make it about people is my point.
Just keep yourself
Make
happy.
it about yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
And I get it, you want to be materialistic. Who doesn't want good quality stuff on their own wedding day without any stitching problems and all of that? But I feel like you can get a lot better work than just normal designers out there. So किसी से छूट पोने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. You can just do your own thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to say that this is from that designer.
Yeah,
It
just
doesn't
to,
make
just
sense.
to like keep up with an image, it makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I feel like, and this kind of journey never stops.
Bilkul.
Because once you start lying about all of the preferences and everything, you never stop lying.
Alrighty, yeah, I think
Yeah.
I definitely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you do you, boo.
You do you, boo.
You do you.
Alrighty.